Greetings, greetings, greetings. Goddamn, I appreciate you. Salute to everybody. Appreciate you. Much love to the world, man. Beautiful Sunday morning, and I love reaching out on these Sunday morning type of platforms and being able to tap in. As you know, I love listening to very small channels. Some channels are small than they really appear. Some of you guys got like 40K subscribers and you get like six views. And those are the videos you should watch. I just had a family member yeah, man. Do me a favor, ladies and gentlemen. Do me a very, very important. I tell you this all the time. If you're gonna send me something, don't try to help me. In other words, right? If you're gonna send me something on social media and it works for you, that's cool. But it may not work for me. Don't try to be the change in my life and you're not bringing me nothing. All you should be bringing me to is a little bit of propaganda every now and then. You know what I mean? Something that I probably didn't hear about that happened last night. Maybe you got the news first. Um, a bozo dude complaining that women need to bring, chivalry and all this stuff like that. That's more in my medium. But don't bring to me, well, chivalry's still here because look what this guy said. Don't- because what's gonna happen is you're gonna lose. You're never gonna win with me. I promise you that. You're never gonna win. You know, shout out to Lonnie. Good morning, darling. Shout out to Lonnie, man. Lonnie, you've been really active, man, and I gotta acknowledge that. You've been the class member that has been coming there early. You've been in class, you've been raising your hand. You know what I mean? You know how that goes. They always got a negative name. Ain't no negative name for that because that is a big deal with me, especially the person the it's a big deal. It's not when you come in and you say first or whatever. There was a clown that used to do that. She don't come back here on her goofy self. She used to put first, and it was just like, what's the point of putting first? Just say good morning, good afternoon, class. You know what I mean? It was so whack. And then, as you know, when I gave an opinion, she never came back. So we'll get to that. But yeah, thank you for your contributions, man. Every contribution is always acknowledged. I don't care if it's a super chat, you know, a cash app, or just acknowledging and coming in and being able to take in all this. But anyway, um, yeah. So I had a family member just sent me something. Now, number one, I just found out I lost another soldier literally last night. Not last night, but um, I was coming home and God just works in mysterious ways, man. It's just amazing how this even happened. Anyway, I'm taking groceries out the car, and there was this red Porsche truck coming down the street. And for some reason, I was like, okay, that's a pretty rare truck, but sound like he tried to make like a, makeshift exhaust. But whatever. But when the truck made the turn, it slowed down, and I'm seeing somebody looking, and I'm like, okay, they must know me. And then I looked, and he said, yo, I said, Troy. He said, yo, Corey, what up? Then he said, hold on. So he backs up, right? Thank you, darling. He backs up. Shout, who's that? Scale, what up, Gail? He backs up, right? And he comes out the car. He's like, yo, you didn't hear what happened to my father? I'm like, nah. And he's like, he passed away. I'm like, when? And I have this weird thing where I have like a weird smirk on my face when I hear, because to me, it's like, I already been going through these changes of losing real soldiers in my life. I just literally told my wife recently, and when I say recently, with days ago, uh, um, something that his dad always told me. Now, his basically, let me give you a quick story. This is like my Jamaican side of my family. Like, in other words, like these dudes came up with my dad. Like, His father used to work with my dad, and they used to be in business together, um, et cetera, et cetera. And he taught me a lot. He was the one to teach me, the moving business as far as like he was an early bird. So I remember, uh, you know, Jamaicans like to get up with the chickens, you know what I'm saying? My dad was never into that. It's like, yo, you gotta work with Leroy tomorrow. I was a youngster. And I'm like, oh man, what time you gonna be there? I'll be there at 6 o'clock on the dot. Like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Because I knew it was like, but he like, don't worry about it. You got your whole day ahead of you. And he was the one that taught me that. In addition to my wife was telling me how recently I was saying how he always said, don't let things stress you out that you can't change because there's nothing you can do about it. Take care of the things that you can change because you can do something about it. He told me that. And the reason why is because he lost his leg about 6, 7 years ago. I remember my dad was telling me go see him, and he lost his leg. And I went to see him and his family about 3 years ago. Sat down and all that. You know what I mean? Um, I was a little late on it, but I went to see him finally. It was kind of tough seeing him like that, but I told him, man, I said, I'll never forget when you told me that. And it stuck in my head. But anyway, every now and then I keep bringing it because I'm like, I've been losing a lot of brothers. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Rashida. I've been losing a lot of brothers, man. And it's very hard, ladies, to tell women that for them to understand, man. When you start losing soldiers for a man, that's very critical. I don't give a where, I don't care where he lives. He don't even got to be speaking to a nigga. He could be living in California. He ain't speak to his man in 30 years, and that shit will fuck with him. Every man. Because when men lose men, you know what I'm saying? It brings them down. Because a lot of men don't replenish that as they should, but you can't really replenish greatness. You understand? Like it's very hard. But anyway, that's been the situation. So he was telling me that he passed away October something. I'm like, October something. I just spoke to your uncle. Like his uncle works on my cars too. So he's like, when's the last time you spoke to him? I said it had to be September because he didn't tell me that your pops passed. And I was like, damn, right? So he has the same name. Now I should have looked at this as a symbolic thing because his name is Leroy. One of my bros' name is Leroy. Y'all seen the dude that I did the picture with the two other brothers. I went to high school with them. So these are like my other soldiers. And it was good, but I was like, I only knew like three Leroys, and only two of them were official. One was a goofball. And if you listening now, nigga, you are a clown. You know what I mean? He ain't one of the brothers I cared for, but this brother I did because it was the one I went to school with and an OG one. It was one a little younger than me, but clown ass nigga turned out to be a passport, bro, and bought a wife and clown ass nigga, whatever. So anyway, I didn't see the symbolic thing about Leroy because I'm like, well, I still at least I know, at least I'm still close to two Leroys, you know what I'm saying? That's all I knew. Mysteriously, I looked at my phone, man. This is the thing I cannot stand about. Now I know a lot of people gonna be, oh yeah, that's what you talk about Android. This is the one thing I hate about smartphones that I really despise. Is it me or certain texts just disappear out of nowhere? You know what I mean? Like, how in the hell I don't have his name in the phone? I don't have his last, and I remember talking to him. So it's almost like texts from the last 6, 7 years they disappear. And that's what people are like. Well, what you expect? Nah, that should. Why would it do that? Emails don't disappear, or maybe they do. I haven't dealt with that. I'm the type of person I like to see that text that I haven't talked to somebody since 2016. Like, you know what I mean? That should be in your cloud, but all this shit is garbage because you transfer over stuff. People's numbers be mysteriously missing. That's why when you call people, sometimes they be like, "Yo, I didn't even know you erased my number." No, actually, I didn't. You know what I mean? Right? They do disappear, right? Yeah, man. So I was very disappointed with that, man. Very, very disappointed because first time, as soon as somebody passes away. I go look, I go look at their last text, and I can't even find his number. The only Leroy I do know is the one that even the goofy one is that his number's not in the phone no more. I don't even understand that. So I don't know. But anyway, throughout the last few months, I've been missing a lot of my soldiers, man, and this just added on. She kind of like threw my whole night off last night. You know what I mean? Literally, like you know what I mean? She really fucked with me because it was just like, damn. But on a positive note, once again, um, what did I take of it? And like anything else, man, just don't take anything for granted. That's all. You know what I mean? Don't take anything for granted because, as you know, it's not promised. Though, I miss Leroy, man, and then he played a big significant role. He used to work with us at the moving business. When I was a youngster, my dad used to have me go with him, and he taught me a lot of ropes because he was a peaceful brother, but he was very big in his church. So he told me his son was telling me he had like a big church. But anyway, it gets deeper because as I'm talking to his son, he said, "Yo, I don't know what it is to not be around my dad. I'm 41. My mother and father been married for 47 years." And I'm like, wow. Yeah. He's like, yeah, because he said, I was all right. But then the worst part was when I seen him putting the dirt on him. And I'm like, you know, I don't watch stuff like that. He said, "Yeah." I said, "It's pointless." You know what I mean? Because I already know this news is gonna fuck with me later. You know what I mean? And I wasn't there. You know what I mean? I'm around cemeteries all the time. I don't live too far from one. One of my favorite gas stations across the street from one. When you're in Jersey, that's all you see is cemeteries. That's all you see is cemeteries. A lot of cemeteries in Jersey, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Anna. Shout out to Big. Um, He said there's a setting on your phone where it deletes messages a certain amount of time and clears space. Oh man, I don't like that, man. Messages to me are very, very important, man. When I lose a text, I swear to God, I wanted to throw this phone in the garbage when I couldn't find his text last night. And that wasn't even too long ago. But you're right. Because I think there's some texts in there from people from 2019, maybe 2020. But you're right. And it wasn't even that long ago because I reached out to him within the last years. I know I did. I had to reach out to him within the last 6 years. Or maybe was it 7, but just the fact that his name disappeared. So that's been my personal trauma, you know, missing soldiers. And then I got some brothers that's left here. I wish they would have left. And no disrespect like they would have died, but you know what I mean? I think it's more important to have the soldiers that keep us in guide us rather than the ones that we gotta sift through it to guide us. Like, you got a dumb nigga that you grew up with and he just doing dumb shit. You gotta learn from his mistakes. And that's what this video is gonna be about today. Dummies. But anyway, um, that kind of threw my night off majorly. That's why I didn't do a live stream last night. I didn't even know how to take that in because for one, and I wasn't mad because I didn't know about it. It was just a point of like, all right, this is what I was saying. So when my family member sent me something today, and the minute I looked at it, it said, let me tell you what it said. Let me tell you what I do when y'all send me these things. It says how to talk to your loved ones in heaven. So one of the biggest questions I get asked as a spiritual medium is soon as I heard that part, I just stopped the video. I'm like, I'm not listening to that. See, woman, y'all gotta understand the thing about men. Don't try to coach a man when he loses soldiers. Just don't do it. Just stay away from that. Okay? There's nothing you can do. You're not a man. You don't try to help him with guiding him. Oh, well, maybe this will cheer you up. Oh, yeah, thank you. The video made me feel better. You better off sending him something funny and not a stupid meme either. We're talking, send him a TV show, send him a funny movie, send him Boomerang. You know what I mean? Send something, send a music video from an old school song. Don't send him nothing like that. And this particular family member, she's horrible with that because she's a social media nut. So, like, the problem with her is she's gonna ask, "Did you get it?" And I'm like, "Yo, how many times do I gotta tell you? Don't send me this stuff. Just don't. I'm not interested. You know what I mean? There's no interest at all, nothing, because it. Number one, I'm not into it, And it's not to say, well, you got to watch my video. No, just don't send me. I don't send you. I don't ask anybody that knows me. I don't send them stuff. There's nothing to send. And sometimes y'all send stuff and y'all never click with it. It's always corny. You understand? So when a man is losing soldiers, when I when I felt this man's pain, I've been there. I felt his pain because I knew his dad and I knew him and I knew how much he loved his son. Well, he had a couple of brothers and sisters, but I knew how much he loved him. This kid was the first kid. I'd never seen a kid driving a truck at 15 years old. I swear to God, this dude was going on moving jobs at 15 years old driving. So whenever Leroy didn't drive, he says Troy's gonna pick you up. I said, Troy, who? My son. He was 15 years old. 15 and doing moving jobs, not working on the truck, driving it. Okay? Some of these people from the West Indies and these different countries, it's amazing what their kids could do at an early age. And I'm speaking in terms of something like there's not a lick of lazy in his bone. That's why the Jamaicans is like that. But anyway, I know he's crying in the dark as he should. You know, I don't care where he goes, where he moves. You could move to Egypt. You could move to the moon. Let me tell you something. When a man loses his dad, ain't nothing a woman could do for that. And I don't mean that you're useless, but if you can't necessarily bring him something to keep his mind active, don't send him no shit to like how to get over a death. Don't do that. That's insulting. You will make him spiral. Don't ever do that. Well, I help out people. No, nobody gets helped out from a goddamn meme of a stupid video you said from TikTok. I'm sorry. All right. You're better off sending them some shit that they were trying to put together and you needed to send them a tutorial. All right. Life is not a goddamn tutorial. Life is life. Don't ever play with that. There's certain pains that a man will go through, such as a loss of soldiers, um, somebody to turn their back on him, his mother, his son. When somebody turns his back on a man, there's nothing you can do. As much as I can do, I don't touch that. If a man tells me, man, fuck my son, nigga, what happened? Man, he walked out of my life. What you mean he walked out? One day I told him to do the dishes. This nigga packed up and left. I haven't seen him since. Oh, okay. I'll stay out of that. I don't touch it. I will never touch it. Yes, it's the truth. You can't tell people how to mourn. You cannot. And it brought me to a place, right? It's just interesting because there was one woman one time that had the audacity to tell somebody, "Well, maybe you should move." How do you tell a person that's mourning that they should move somewhere else? You know what I mean? It's all these different answers, right? But that's not the point of the video. The deepest part here is this is what happened last night. I just want to tell you people, just be mindful and be careful. Not everybody knows how to deal with people that mourns. Sometimes it's just best to just tell a person, I'm sorry for your loss. I'm terribly sorry for your loss. Put a little passion in there. That'll go further. Don't send him anything when he told you previously, because he probably not going to tell you anything again. So ironically, right? You know, that was the MO. So I was supposed to bring out this video last night, and I want to talk about this, man. This has been troubling me a lot, and I'm just tired of. I think black people just don't know what to do with themselves. Black black folks, I don't think black folks are stupid. I think YNs are stupid. I think something is really wrong with them. Like for real, something is wrong. Like to the point where they're almost useless. But I think black people just don't know what to do other than work and get a check. They don't know what to do. Like a lot of y'all got this thing in society. how y'all call it a false narrative, you know, quality of life, cheap real estate, and they don't tell you the back end of the stuff. I got a lot of people that live in Jersey, for example, right? When I if you want to know Jersey, talk to somebody born and raised out there that lives there. Even if they don't, if they were born and raised, they still be an advocate for it. Don't talk to people such as a New Yorker that moved out there 3, 4 years ago. Don't even talk to them. Okay. In other words, I could use Jersey terminology better than a lot of people. Now, people in New York, I'm going to get deeper, but they moved to Jersey to save money on a house because the houses are expensive here. Now, I know y'all have a lot of negative things about New York. Nobody loves New York better than a real New Yorker. And we're talking about the New Yorker that lives here proud, not the one that's going to go you know, get out of his MTA job and the first thing he's going to do is move to gay Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? We talking about real New Yorkers that live out here because their money's long or they making some money pay. They making paper. You can't listen to a New Yorker that moves to Jersey because they're a terrible advocate for what Jersey is. Jersey's houses are cheaper. Yes, the further east, the further south you go, obviously they're cheaper. Anything is cheaper than New York City, even New York State. A lot of these dummies from New York don't even know that. They rather go to Jersey than to go upstate New York and stay within the same state where they ain't got to worry about changing their licenses or none of that. Okay? The five boroughs of New York consist of Manhattan, Brooklyn, the Bronx, Queens, and Staten Island. Did I say that right? Brooklyn, Manhattan, Queens, the Bronx, Staten Island. That is New York City. Okay? All right? Living in New York, you either have to have it or you got to know how to get over. All right? In other words, get over in a sense, maybe you're some criminal activity, that's how you pay your bills, or maybe maybe you got a program. There's a million different programs to pay, you know, assistance with your rent. And there's nothing wrong with that, as you should. You know what I mean? You live in the United States, take advantage of the services. That's just the great glory of living in the United States. That's what foreigners die to do. So the one thing that I've learned is that real estate becomes a scam the more and more people get the push of society. So you know this new thing now that if you have a house, you failed in life, but you got a house and a kid. It sounds better. You didn't accomplish a goddamn thing, but you went and got a mortgage and borrowed the money and bought a house. It sounds good, but it's all it. At the real end of the day, the only one benefiting from that is the bank. Okay. The problem is here in New York City, you cannot compare an apartment to where you live in an apartment in North Carolina. Because in North Carolina, if you live in an apartment, in most cases, it's not the lifestyle of an apartment that we have here. In most cases, you probably only live 3, 4 stories above ground. Our apartments are 100 stories above the ground. The end. So our view, even if you lived 100 stories above ground in North Carolina, it's still not going to be as pleasurable to look out the window as it is looking 50 stories in New York. It's just not. Ain't nothing to look at. It's the country. So anything outside of the five boroughs of New York is the country. Jersey, Delaware, Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, not Atlanta, Georgia, South Carolina, Rhode Island, Connecticut. It doesn't matter. The Midwest, okay? Chicago's a city, but it's not New York City. Okay? Illinois, I mentioned Texas already. Even the cities in Texas is not a city in New York. You can't compare it. You just can't. New York City is a mecca. The only thing that's coming close to that shit is Hong Kong. Okay? There's no other city like New York City. And New York is the problem with a lot of New Yorkers that have allowed you all, no disrespect, to put the emphasis because your 3-bedroom apartment is a failure in another state, unless you're living in a luxury building, because y'all have houses and your houses are dirt cheap. Okay? Here is lifestyle. You can't compare that. If you live in a zip code in New York, if your address is like living in California and your address is 902 or 10, remember the TV show Beverly Hills? As long as you got that zip code, I don't care if you live in a car. Here, it's New York City. We could live in a box. It doesn't matter. You could never match your city here. Number one, it's too fast paced. You won't be able to keep up. We're the only city in the world that has walking millionaires. Mayors take the train to work with security. Ask the president of the United States is from New York. He's a New Yorker. That's why he's able to scam everybody. I'll get to that another time. No matter where he goes, he tells you, God damn it, Florida, he got this. There ain't nothing like New York. To have an apartment in New York is like having a mansion in, to have an apartment in New York is equivalent to having a big house in the South. And even then, that can't come close to it because you just got a big house. If you had that big house over here in New York State, in the city, it ain't going to be able to fit, number one. But let's just say you was able to squeeze it in Queens or Brooklyn or Staten Island. Now you're talking lifestyle. It's a whole different level. You can't make it here. You can't make it anywhere. So if you leave New York City and you leave your zip code to go to Jersey, I promise you, you're going to be miserable. And what's going to probably happen, you're going to start to get inflicted in a lot of mental illnesses, physical illnesses, because you're going to have nothing to do other than shop and eat. That's all you know how to do there. Shout out to Ken Thompson. Okay. I don't get into debates with people out of town. I don't, because I don't talk. You can't get into a debate with me because you live in a country. Okay? The country is like equivalent to being a teenager and an adult. You'll have more years as an adult than a teenager. So it's the same thing here in New York. New York City it's a small city compared to a country. The whole United States is a country. Literally. Any city is going to be a knockoff of New York City. You're not going to be able to compare it. There's not a city in the United States that have the amount of buildings that we have, the magnitude of the walking world global millionaires and billionaires around the world. We run everything. Hip hop started here in a little apartment in the Bronx. Most people that come visit New York, they can't even, it's too fast paced. Exactly. The president of the United States proving that he's running circles around y'all because he's a New Yorker. That's what we do. That's in his blood. Is he a racist? He's a piece of shit. He's the same piece of shit as a nigga or a white dude I may know on the other side of Staten Island, but he's a New Yorker. He gonna get it. It's a country. So when you come here and you visit your family and they're like, ew, they live in this 1-bedroom apartment, their 1-bedroom apartment is probably worth more than your house. I could show you an abandoned lot because we don't use square footage here because there's not enough room. I could show you a 20-foot lot that's probably worth more than your block. I promise you that. You don't believe me? Go on Zillow. You want me to go on Zillow? Let's go on Zillow right now. I'll show you $50 million apartments in Manhattan. Why would somebody pay that? You're in the country. It's a lifestyle. If you could afford a $50 million apartment, that's what matters. It doesn't matter if it makes sense. You could afford it. You guys lose it because New Yorkers are afraid because the country has a lot. The country, unlike Trump, because he don't give a fuck. The country has allowed the world to see things differently. It's a scam. Okay? When you're rich and famous, you want to be here. Yeah, they moved to Jersey, but you're gonna pay it in taxes. That's why they always fixing up. Jersey's one big highway. That's all it is. I love Jersey. Don't get it twisted. We shop out there. We love it. I would never live in New Jersey. Okay? I'm a New Yorker. I would die. I would be depressed from boredom. As a single man, and you lived in New York and you couldn't get a girlfriend here, you might as well just go in a coffin. You're useless. What are you going to do? Move down south and look for a wife? No, you move down south for a cheap house. That's what you do. Okay? If you have family that lives in the projects in North Carolina, you're poor. But when you live in New York in the projects, you know what? At least you live in New York. It's a big difference. New York City, that is. Don't get the two confused. Because you live up in the projects in Poughkeepsie, you're probably poor. Well, I got family that lives in the projects and they ain't got a lot. They live in New York City. They doing something right. The rent's probably still $2,000 a month. They probably got a program paying $1,500 worth of that shit. $500 comes out their pocket. Don't be mad because you don't have that. How are you shitting on somebody because your bills are more than theirs? How stupid is that? That's dumb. You pay that much to live. Your mortgage is $3,000-$4,000. You're a fool. You lose your job. You're done. You're going to commit suicide. How are you going to afford that when you live in check to check, you and your wife? But you go down to Atlanta or South Carolina to that cheap ass house. All right. You moved out there because probably your family members, your wife had family, and now you're miserable. Because now the pissy stairways that you lived in New York, I'm just talking about projects. Everybody told you need to get out of here, but you were happier there. Because you had access to the same thing that the billionaire had. You was under Dumbo, living near the Brooklyn Bridge, seeing Busta Rhymes out there working out and shit, pause. Seeing celebrities walk around, seeing people jogging and wondering the greatest city in the world, and you're right by the water. And they told you New York is just dirty. That's okay. Let them go down in the South. Let them be a slave to their job and live in that country life. Country life will kill you. If you're born there, it's different. When you're born in the country, it's different. Them niggas live for 150 years old. You move down south, you fool. Who does that? Once you're here, it's your grandfather in. You don't go backwards because nobody moves to New York anymore. They can't afford it. You have a house you paid $200,000 for in 2001. Now it's worth $300,000 2026. You know how much that would be here? If I paid for a house in New York City, $200,000 in January, it's worth $1 million now. Big difference, buddy. You can't play with a New Yorker here. You wouldn't be able to afford it. And when we're grandfathered in, you can't touch that. You could look at Fat Joe, you could look at Jim Jones, no matter what. Them niggas live in Jersey, they hang in New York every single day. They can't leave it. They don't want to live in Jersey. Yeah, you got the nice house. Yeah, you probably got $1 million house in Jersey and $1 million house in New York as a shack. I get it. I get it. But he gonna have fun more in that shack. It's a big difference. Okay, so listen to this. I'm gonna show you lifestyle. All right. Let me just start off with New York, New York. Right? So before I get to this, these are all the areas that's for sale. That's just the city. This is not the state. Do not get the two confused. New York State is a complete different entity. It's 8 hours long. I could drive to North Carolina and be in North Carolina before I could be upstate New York. I live in New York City. It's the 5 boroughs. That's it. It's a city. It's not a state. It's the city within the state. Same way how you have Houston, right? Houston is a city, right? Same way how you have Miami. Same way how you have Los Angeles. Same how you have the Oakland. These are cities, right? So I have people that say this all the time. Yeah, well, New York City, I could go to Jersey. You're moving to New Jersey. You're not moving to Jersey City, bozo. That's a whole state. New Yorkers forget about upstate. They don't even pay attention to upstate because it's north. They rather go east and south to Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, North Carolina, South Carolina. They rather go south before they go north. And you could get a cheaper house up north too. Because it's not the city, it's the country. Your ghetto ass family is living in the 5 boroughs. Let them move down to Georgia and see what happens. They're going to be some ghetto ass motherfuckers for real when they come down there. They're going to be white, black trailer trash down there. See, here we move up. Y'all don't. So an apartment is looked upon and frowned upon down there, unless it's a luxury building, because architects are getting smarter now and the developers are putting these, the stores downstairs with the gyms and the Starbucks and all that bullshit, because that's the only way they're going to get the 5, 6, 7 grand a month from you guys. The apartment you move down there with your kids, yes, it's the country. Of course it's cheaper. Your house is cheaper to build. The land is cheaper. The land is dirt cheap. You could go to Flint, Michigan and buy a whole goddamn block for nothing. But you can't do that here in New York nowhere. Not in the city. Not happening. Unless your grandfather, great-great-grandfather bought the property in the early 1800s or 1900s. Our property goes up here drastically like a son of a bitch. So when we move out to down south, a lot of people don't understand. You're going to supplement. This is what you're going to trade off. Number one, you're going to trade off your element. That's going to be an instant depression. You're not going to tell everybody because you're going to tell all your family members you got a barbecue grill. I got a nice house. I got a nice house. Yeah. And then what? Now you go to Kroger's and come back home a Piggly Wiggly and you're miserable. Ain't a fucking thing down there. It's dead. I don't care if you got a mansion in Atlanta, nigga. You're bored out of your fucking mind. Bored! And that brings off health issues. Okay? Internally, physically, it will. Guaranteed. Now, this don't go out to the people that was born and raised out there. You were born and raised. That's different. That's all you know. You're not going to see that. But when these New Yorkers come down there, fuck up your property, bring up your property zone and bringing up the costs, they do that. That's why nobody likes us, because all they do is raise the property. Now we're attacking Texas. Why would you want to move to Texas, you dumbass New Yorker? Niggas is walking around there with guns with fucking racist redneck cops. Who the hell want to live in that environment? We don't have that here. We don't have redneck police officers. Our police officers are everyday relatable people. Anybody could be a cop here. Being a New York City police officer is more prestige than any police officer in the world. Okay? You work New York City sanitation. You know what? That's a garbage man where you live. Oh, what's your boy do? Y'all living in Tampa? Where? What did he do for a living? Your husband? Oh, he works for the garbage for the town. Ew. He's a bum. Number one, he ain't making no fucking money. Number two, there's nothing prestigious because you live in a small town taking out people's garbage. Not here in New York. A man or woman could work for the New York City Department of Sanitation, which they make $150,000 or better a year. Let's not forget that. It could be a fine bitch in that green uniform taking out the garbage in front of mansions. They would never frown upon her because they know at the end of the day, number one, they need her. Number two, she works for the city. She's one of us. Okay? She goes down to Chicago and do the garbage. What a nasty bitch. What a bump. She's taking out the garbage. She could have did so much better in her life. It's a big difference. Oh, what you pay in your apartment up there, we pay that half. You live in a country. Of course you're going to pay half. What do you want me to do? Take the Wizard of Oz and go take my house and fly it down there? I'm sorry, I live here. Big difference. You can't touch that. Even in Jersey, in Hackensack, New Jersey, okay, Ice-T and Coco live in West New York. That's prestigious. Edgewater, clearly it's prestigious, right? Lifestyle, Doorman, 24-hour concierge, view of New York City. That's a fortune. A view here alone. A developer, what the fuck is a developer going to do in North Carolina? Build a 100-story building for what? And look at the view of the grass and water? Developers want to put high rises where there's life going on. The Miami's a dump, but South Beach is not. The cartel made that shit. So the developers 50 years later still benefiting from it because they got all them condos. All that money was laundered over there and they building them condos. And yes, $30-40 million condos. Who would pay that? It doesn't. A nigga that's rich could pay that. But Jay-Z and Beyonce had their apartment downtown. You know how many dumb fucks from out of town, even the dummies here? 75,000. That was 10 years ago. 75,000 a month. I would just get you dummy. They had a house in Scarsdale. The house was 50 million. Scarsdale is nice, but it ain't the city, nigga. They lived in the heart of Manhattan. It's a fortune to live there. It's called Tribeca. You know where. You heard of it, Robert De Niro. When you walk out the house and the whole world is in the palm of your hand, that's prestigious. People don't know their own value. They don't know the value of property. You have no idea what you're doing. Okay? If you can't afford to buy a property in New York, don't buy nothing. You better but I tell you one goddamn, you better get it because it's gonna keep going up, 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 up. We're not gonna even get into my financial business. Okay, we're not gonna even go there. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna go into. Okay, so this is a map of Staten Island, and this is a map of New York. Okay, so New York City. So what we're gonna do in Brooklyn, we're not gonna even get Brooklyn's loaded up. Okay. All right. So what we're going to do, we're going to look at for sale. We're going to look at price. We're going to look at properties over 2 million. Matter of fact, we're going to start the minimum. We're going to start the minimum at $10 million. I'm going to show you what goes on here. Fuck these little numbers, right? Let's start I was going to go crazy, but let's start the property at 50 million. Some people are like, that doesn't exist. Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah, it does. Oh, yeah, it does. Okay, so listen to this, right? This apartment is $85 million. Okay? A lot of dummies would say, I would never pay that for an apartment. What you don't understand, you fool. Maybe you want to know the person that owns it. That's what you need to do, dummy. 6 bedrooms, 10 bathrooms, 700 square feet. You may say, well, I can get a house in Atlanta. Yeah, this is why niggas move out of town, go down there and die. You niggas that was born and raised in Atlanta, it's different. You live forever. Okay, Auntie Granny, she was born and raised out there. They live long. Okay? You niggas that move out there, you're miserable. But I tell you one goddamn thing. Anybody that could afford, what does they say? The estimated mortgage payment is $500,000 a month. Built in 2024, it's for sale. That means somebody's looking at it. Anybody that could afford this is the person you want to know. See, you up these celebrities' asses because you look at dirty ass Jay-Z and Beyonce as, ooh. Right? I use that as an example because that's all y'all know because they only worth $1 billion. You got niggas in this world that's got some serious paper. That's why we call this the B mindset. Okay? When you're making $1 million a day, this is nothing. When you're making 20, 30 million a week, this is nothing. When you're making 80 million a week, this is nothing. Look around you when you're in these stores and you're walking around Costco's and you look at all these things that you're buying, all of the products, and just imagine who owns it globally. When you're making 85 million a week, when your company's making 85 million a week and you own something like this, you probably own 30 of them. That's mega money. So if you could live across the street, around the corner, by the way, this is a penthouse. All right. Let's just look at the pictures, right? You know why it's expensive? Because of the view. The view. The view. It's a penthouse. Look at the view. I didn't even get to the view yet. I heard penthouse. Look at the view. Okay? You go to, let me tell you something. Look at the view. Ask any, not a, don't talk to me about no whack ass realtor. Fuck a realtor. I could care less about a realtor unless they $1 million realtors. All right? You show me, not an investor, because remember, Donald Trump is a developer. Y'all forgot about that. Oh yeah. Oh, y'all didn't know that? That's what Trump, that's why he blew. He's a developer. All his major developments are in Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens, high-rise buildings. That's heavy money. When a nigga tell you he's a developer and he got 20 houses in Atlanta, that ain't shit. When a nigga tell you he a developer, he got a 100-story building up in Brooklyn, that's heavy artillery. Who wants to hear about a shitty nigga on flipping a fucking house in Atlanta? So what? That's a bum compared to this shit. Look at this view. Okay? So I'll give you an example. If me asking Nathaniel tell you that I just bought this, if I could even rent this shit for the day, you better say, you know what, we need to stay next to Nathaniel. That nigga, he knows some serious people. It says request a tour by 3:30 p.m. How does the average nigga go request a tour? They would have to find out who you are. You can't just be anybody going up into this shit. You could be a shitty Instagrammer or influencer and go in there and fuck the whole place up. That's the roof of the building. Now, this is the part that's going to trip you out the more, because this is what Jay-Z and Beyonce's crib looked like 10, 15 years ago. All right? First and foremost, look at the building on the outside. Who would have ever known that? Matter of fact, hold on. Hold the fuck up. I think that's the... Oh my God. All right, so this is the village that Jay-Z and Beyonce lived in. Somebody just texted me and said it was Greenwich Village. It was Greenwich Village / Tribeca. See how the buildings look like a loft on the outside? See the indoor garage upstairs? All this shit is lifestyle. That means this is for the rich and famous. Now, again, this is the highest level of a billionaire to have a place in New York City, Manhattan, New York. Not fucking North Carolina or the Midwest. Unless he got a ranch. Now, that's different. You got a ranch, you got to come upstate New York, you got to go out to that's where the country, don't get it fucked up. I love the country. But y'all niggas want to talk about ranch, then that's different. George Bush's ranch, that's official. When you got acres and acres and acres of land and you got one house on that shit, that's fucking dope. Not a ranch house that's in Jersey and fucking damn Tom's River, nigga. We talking about a real ranch where horses and roads and ponds and all types of shit. Some of y'all niggas' ranches are like 5 miles long. That's a ranch. This here is lifestyle. Okay? That means you don't eat at bullshit restaurants. That means you gotta cook. That means, and again, I'm not saying everybody in New York is like this. I'm telling you why they would build something like this here. Developers here want the view. The view, the view, the view. Whether it's downtown Jersey or whether it's New York. Anybody that knows Jersey the way I do, Hoboken, Edgewater, even Hackensack, they got a little bit of the view of New York. Mary J. Blige had that damn mansion out in Saddle River. She was so high above sea level in a house, she still could see New York from her house, but it still wasn't New York City. The view, that's real developers. They fuck with that view because they get the first dibs. Look at this penthouse east. Ladies, you meet a man, he tells you he got a penthouse, and you met a shitty nigga that told you he got a mansion in Atlanta, run from that nigga in Atlanta. He can't do nothing. Your man has this, okay? I could tell you whose boyfriend could afford this, though. Eve's boyfriend. Oh, yeah, Eve the rapper. Janet Jackson. Okay? All right? They were niggas that nobody even pays attention to. They could afford this shit. It's a whole different level. That's just one. Let's go to another one. I'm just going for heavy artillery. Let's bring it down a little bit. Let me just start at 25 million. Don't let numbers scare you. 25 million, right? Okay, so look at all the properties for 85 million, 85, 87. This one's 20. This one's 90 million. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. Look at the view, man. What I told y'all. Look at the view. 90 million. This is that Diddy money. Diddy was getting money like this to fuck with that shit. You know what I mean? At one time. Not anymore. 90 million. 8 bedroom, 8 baths, 10,000 square feet. That ain't a lot for you. Look at the view. So what I'm saying to you is look at the craftsmanship, look at the architecture in this place. Who the fuck could even identify? That couch alone's probably probably 50,000 for the couch. You know, you niggas are shopping at Raymore and Flanagan and fucking Bob's Furniture, and then you get a mini mansion. Get the fuck out of here. Are you kidding me? This is a whole different level. Now again, these are status. So when you are able to afford shit like this, it doesn't matter what your house is worth in Atlanta. It doesn't matter what your house is worth in the Midwest. The only two places in the world, in the United States like this, is Los Angeles and New York City. I don't want to drop the microphone early. That's it. I'm sorry. There's only two places in the U.S. that got these extravagant places. Only two. Los Angeles, California, Beverly Hills and all that shit. Okay, what's that other shit that the Kim Kardashian lives in? I found a land over there that's like 50 million. They ain't even built on there. What's the Las Calabas? All that. That's status. New York City and Los Angeles. That's it. Where do the rich and famous move to, ladies and gentlemen? All these celebrities that you be sucking off, where do they live? A lot of you New Yorkers move to these different states for a cheap house and you supplement, you trade off your element, your health, and your happiness. You know you are. I know you're suffering out there. You know it. Calabas, yes. I love Calabas, by the way. Yeah, that's when Kobe Bryant got killed. You know what it costs to get a property in that beautiful land? Are you kidding me? The fact that there's listings, this is my point. The fact that there's several listings with likes on it, 25 million, 100 and look at this one, 128 million. What is the first thing they got? The view. Look at the view. Central Park, a view. Look at that view. Where could you go in this world and look out the window and see something like that? Nowhere. You're not going to see no view like that looking out of Dallas or Houston. And even if you do, it's still the country. Where do you live? Calabas. Oh, shit. Yeah, that's up in the hills, nigga, but that's status. That ain't no ordinary country. Look at this. I'm a mover. I've been in these places. Okay? There's people out here that don't fuck around, and you would never know when you see them on land in the subway. Imagine you niggas out here chasing all these dirty bitches. Get you one of these white women, bro. These rich ass white women living up in here. You see what your man did with Kris Jenner? Okay, now this is that Kim Kardashian's family. This is definitely their status because they can fuck with this. That's why they live in Manhattan. Kim Kardashian's family, they could afford all this shit. They can afford the lifestyle. Ain't no front. They got a driver's status around the world because their money's long as hell. Look at the view. That's how they sell it. See how they do? The view, the view, the view. They let you know what this shit's gonna look like in the daytime on a clear day and what it's gonna look like at the night. You can't compete with that. You can't. It doesn't matter what your family's doing out of town. They'll tell, oh, you need to come down here, For what? I'm gonna get depressed. I'm not where am I gonna go for a sandwich at 3 o'clock in the morning? Where am I gonna walk out the door and have the access to everything? All you New Yorkers that move to Jersey or better are suffering. I know you are. You're miserable. Okay? Your house is nice. Everybody's house is nice outside of New York. It's cheap. Of course it's nice. That's how they get you. Now, those developers, they know how to do it. They got the property here where they live in, but they tell you to go down there and they build 40 homes. And then when you want your shit back that you sold, and they say, oh, no, buddy, you got to give me $1 million more. I just sold it to you yesterday. Yeah, I want $1 million more. And they're going to get it. Where do all the powerful Jews live at? Los Angeles and New York City. Where all the mega rich billionaires live. Where? Here. Again, I'm just showing you. Show me comparable penthouses in the world that look like this. Show me. Never-ending pool on the roof. And then when they get down to the ground, they look like everybody else. Look at that shit. That's the splash shit about it, because we go up. It's different here. There's niggas out here that couldn't afford to live here. Okay? All these rappers y'all watch. Look at all these listings. Just go to Zillow yourself. Go to Zillow yourself. 25 million, you can set all the numbers. Look at it. 30 million, 26 million, 39 million, 33. These are all apartments. We didn't even show the houses. We're not going to even get into the mansions. I'm showing you apartments. I don't give a fuck what you pay for your goddamn house, nigga. My house is 45 million. My apartment is worth 45 million. What could you tell me? You rich on paper because your house is $1 million, nigga. I'm mega rich, nigga, because I got a $45 million house. How did I get to that? This is a brownstone. Y'all heard of brownstones? You all right? This is a brownstone, 45 million. And they modernized it inside. Well, they're not supposed to do that, though. But they modernized it. Look at the listings. 45 million, 44 million, 48, 50 million. All right? 28 million. 54 million. There's a lot of money out. If it's so bad down where you live, all this money. Look, a cheap house is for 30 million. You could get a little shitty little $30 million joint. And the pages keep going. Now it's lower. 30 million, 49 million, 27 million. Y'all niggas got to get your dreams together. Y'all all fucked up. God. Yeah, just come over there later. 45 million. Okay. Again, as you can see, none of these properties exist in Staten Island for apartments, right? So now, again, right? You're rubbing elbows with all these rich people. How in the fuck are you a loser in New York? How don't you know one? You want women to take accountability of all this bullshit. How is it that you can't meet one woman that lives in one of these properties? I'll show you an apartment with a balcony. Look at this. 40 million Bleecker Street. 40 million. Okay? This is real estate. Real estate, not estate. Real estate. And this is nothing. But this Bleecker Street. I think that's an office, though. Hold on. It's probably $40 million. I think it's an office. I think it's the whole building. The whole building's 40 million. My bad. 40 million for the whole building. And that shit's like a 6-story building. Okay, look at this one. This one's a building.
Okay, this one has 46 bedrooms. Okay, so it's a brand new building, just went up, right? 26 million, nigga, in Brooklyn. That's nothing. That's a short ass building, man. 26, 26. But where's your money at? Yo, I need to go flip a house. Nigga, first and foremost, if you get this property, the mortgage is 159,000 a month. Let's do the math. 100. Let's do this. This is an investment for all you niggas that talk all this bullshit. Okay? Let me show you this. Right? Let's do the math. So 26 million. The mortgage is 159,000. Right? That's your mortgage, nigga, for a building. You got 40, right? So let's just say I don't know how many apartments is in there, but let's just go with 40. Let's just go with 40 because it says 46 bathrooms, 46 bedrooms. It could be 2 bedrooms. So let's just go with 40 apartments. So let's say 6,500 a month. 6,500 a month times 40. You're making 260,000 a month. Minus your mortgage is 159,000. You're making 100 grand a month off of rent. Just imagine that you make $100,000 off of one building, nigga, after you paid your expenses. One way, let's just say, I'm just paraphrasing this the whole 100 grand a month. And in the next 2-3 years, you're gonna make more because the rent's gonna go up. The building was built in 2012. This building probably was $2 million back then. Okay, no, it says 29 residential. Okay, cool. So let's just say at $6,000 times 29. Now again, we don't know how many bedrooms in each of them. I'm just throwing it out. It's still 170,000 a month. Just imagine making 100, not 2,000 a month, not 10,000, 170,000 a month, and you're gonna get it because people are renting this shit. People are making money out here. Okay, and that's one. Let's go with another building. Let's see. We're gonna do a 40. Look at this $42 million. Look at this shit here. East 59th Street. Hold on. It didn't let me click on it. Probably somebody bought it. And the pages keep going. It's still going. Okay. So let's catch this. Let's see. 6th Avenue. Okay, I'm gonna tell you just with the address. 145 6 145 6th Avenue. Come on now. That's the rich. Niggas is loaded. Okay, why does it not let me click? Okay. And they're building that. This shit ain't even done. They're building a penthouse. Oh my God, man. This shit is so high powered, man. Okay, so now this is the point of this. So now we're gonna bring the bar down a little bit. Let's go with a million. This is the reason. So let's go with y'all shitty $350,000, which ain't no money, and let's say to $1 million, right? Okay, so $1 million. This is what we get in New York. Now this is in Staten Island, 825. It's $825,000, right? Look at that. That house, this house right now in Texas is probably like 80 grand. He has 500, 800,000. It's a normal house. Look, nothing. Look at it. Look at the backyard. Look how small the backyard is. Right? Look at that. Regular house. Re- Regular house. Oh, for all that, I moved down south. Right. Okay. You get a bang for your buck. Yeah, nigga, but you live down in the country. The country's always cheaper than the city. Never forget that. All right. You could move to goddamn Augusta, Georgia, and get a house for $5,000. A fucking shack. All right. You go to Atlanta, nigga. A shack in Atlanta, nigga, ain't gonna be $5,000. It's just not, because it's a city. All right. And even then, it's still the country to us. This is 800,000, nigga. That's nothing. $800,000 house is nothing here. Okay, an $800,000 house is equivalent to a house in a country for 300,000. Okay, let me show you something for 700,000. And this is detached. That means you share one side of the house. You share it. These are my customers on a regular. These are my regular everyday customers. Look at that. See the difference? Now, you may say, I couldn't do that. Well, why would you, nigga? If you live down there, that would be quite dumb. But I tell you this much, okay? Whatever your house is worth here, worth there is going to be worth 10 times more here. Keep that in mind. See, you keep thinking about it, oh, well, our house, we get this. Yeah, nigga, because you live down there. Take your house and put it over here, nigga. You'll move out the first day. It's going to be double. If your house is worth $1 million down there, it's going to be worth 2.5 here at a minimum. Easy. Whatever you got is worth more here. You said Miami's crazy right now. Bro, Nervin, will you just listen to the video, bro? You come in here a little late, brother, respectfully, please. All right? We talking about a complete different thing, bro. You talk about South Beach or shitty Miami, nigga. Miami's a fucking goddamn, Miami's a dump. What are you talking about? Miami is a dump, nigga. Y'all keep going by. What Miami you talking about? South Beach? Of course, all those condos, it's been like that. It ain't been changed. It's been the same since the cartel brought it there from Colombia. You got to remember, what's expensive to you is not expensive to me. Expensive what? $20 million for a penthouse, nigga? That here in New York, nigga, it's $100 million. I just showing everybody that. We got 80, 90, $100 million penthouses on sale. That means that's the value. That's what it's worth. They didn't just make up a price. It's worth that. Florida can't compete with New York City. I mean, Miami can't compete with New York City. It can't. It just can't, because it's Florida. It's still the South. People think, oh, it's Florida, it's Miami. That's down south. Atlanta is down south, nigga. The land of the cheap houses. You could get houses in Miami off the skirts for cheap because it's in the hood. But Miami's ghetto as shit. Shit is a dump down there. Anyway, listen. I'm just telling y'all look, okay, so let me tell you what 350,000 here. Okay, so this is what I was waiting for. Okay. All right. Y'all ready for this? All right, this is actually in Manhattan. This is a $350,000 one-bedroom apartment built in 1925. Now, mind you, I must warn you, it's small. Okay? It's very small. It's so small, you're going to say, that's why I live down here. That's why we moved from New York, especially the dummies that go out there and say, we get more for our money. Do you know what first and foremost, if I was a single man, do you know how much pussy will be flying into this apartment? I live on 90th Street on the east side. Yeah, it ain't a plush apartment, but it don't matter. I'm on 90th Street, nigga. When I walk outside, I'm out there walking with everybody. I live in Manhattan. Can't touch this, from the words of goddamn MC Hammer. Now look at this. This is a very modest apartment. It's actually pretty cheap for that. Look at that. Look how small that kitchen is. Yeah, I know y'all look on social media. Y'all can keep laughing all you want. It's the value. That should be pretty embarrassing that my fucking apartment is worth more than your fucking house. That's pretty bad. You got 10 bedrooms, nigga. I got one. 350,000. Somebody's gonna grab this just because they want the address. The address is worth the money. This shit's probably in a fucking basement. I was right. It is in a basement apartment. It's on the first floor. God damn, I'm so nice. You know how I could tell? See the little gate and little windows to the right in the middle? That shit is practically in a basement. Still 350,000, one bedroom. That's right. Zillow is how y'all look at Facebook is what I look at Zillow. All right. And I'm not saying there's some official shit in these other states. Don't get it twisted, but let me give you another example with 500,000. I'm going to show you what 800,000 looks like here. This is what 800,000 looks like here in Brooklyn. This is nothing. 1,700 square feet. That ain't shit. It's 800 grand. And guess what? That's what it's valued at. Look at that. Boring. New concrete on a damn driveway. That's the basement apartment upstairs. They try to make it look bigger with the way the camera angle is. You know that little angle y'all got on the cell phones now? They don't even need cell phones. They do these shits with the damn phones. Look at this shit. Right? That's 800,000, nigga. Three bedroom. All right. 1,700, 1,700 square feet. That ain't shit. I know in your state, well, I could get more. Right. But it's not what you can get, nigga. The embarrassment is the value. Nervin said, I'm just talking about regular houses, of course, the condos. Nah, bro. What I'm trying to tell you, Nervin, what I'm trying to explain to you is this conversation is not about what's expensive. You know, you want to talk about expensive, you got to talk about New York City, my brother. You got to talk about Calabasas. You got to talk about Los Angeles, nigga. I ain't talking about expensive in Miami. You know what I mean? That's not, you got to remember, I'm not no rich nigga there, but that's no money to me. That's not no money to me, nigga. You know what I mean? Listen, I'm happy with any money. But money to me is billions. That's not money to me. Money to me is when you could afford to buy $80 million penthouse. That's money to me. I'm not impressed by shitty shit. I'm not impressed by shit like that. What I am impressed with is people that know how to either make it or know how to get over. If you could get in when you fit in, I respect that. If your rent is $200 a month, I respect that. If your mortgage is $150,000, I respect that. That means you got mega money. I don't respect niggas that's paying $5,000 a month for a mortgage and him and his wife is busting their ass. That's corny to me. There's no lifestyle there. You get what I'm saying? I'm not impressed by that. That's just me. That's my personal thing. I'm just showing you. Yeah. We got some bullshit out here for it. Compare it to yours. Yes. Not the value. It's all about the money. I don't care what your house looks like. Mine's is worth more. That's what it's about here. That's why we live here. So when y'all move down south for that cheap house, remember, I'm warning you. Your wife, I want to be close to my family. I want to do this. Yeah, go ahead and do that shit and see what happens. And watch what ends up happening now when you start getting fat, health issues, strokes, all types of shit. I'm telling you, you're going to be unhappy there. It ain't worth it. Listen to me. That's why this is the one saying I always tell one. Goddamn nigga, you don't pay my bills. If a motherfucker pay my bills, you could move me anywhere. But you understand what I'm saying? You're not paying my bills and telling me where the fuck to go. Are you serious? I'll come visit you. We'll sit up there, enjoy that backyard. But goddamn it, nigga, I got to go. I'm on the plane. It was nice. I left you some beverages here, a couple of money for some groceries. Good day. I love visiting a motherfucker. You are not going to get me to move down to that bitch. Shout out to Laura. Y'all niggas don't understand. So if I was a single man and a woman moved here, I'm gonna tell her, listen, number one, whatever you making here, we pay 10 times more. Let's not forget that. Yeah, you talk to these shitty niggas from New York. Oh yeah, it's cheaper. Yeah, because they moving down there. Number one, they gotta work 2 jobs in Atlanta. Don't fucking lie to me, because I know this already. But when people that were born and raised in Atlanta, they come to New York, they tell me the truth. They ain't no money down there. People that live in New York, they move down here with their pension from New York. Yes, they get $5,000-$10,000 a month. Yes, you could live like a king because you have the money, right? You're making a pension. If I was working for the city of New York and I got a pension after 25 years and I was a single man with no wife and daughter, God forbid,
I would take my single ass, excuse me, I'm not gonna even say single. If me, my wife, and daughter right now was able to afford it, and you said to me, Nate, I got $1 million house out here ready for you. I just built it, a mini mansion with all the amenities in there. Or you would live in Brooklyn, in Williamsburg, in a two, 3 bedroom apartment. I take the apartment. Are you fucking kidding me? I could always visit the house in Georgia. I could visit that shit and go down there and look at it, nigga. What's the thing we got right now? We can rent it. I can rent it for a month. I don't want to live there. That's what Airbnb is for, fool. You Airbnb the shit out of your life, nigga. I'm not gonna go down there and sign a contract for a 30-year mortgage to live down there to reverse my happiness. Are you kidding me? To come out of my element? If I don't see a subway, nigga, I'm gonna get sick. If I don't see a blue and white city bus, nigga, I don't even take the bus. If I don't see it, it's gonna get me sick. New Yorkers, we get sick when we got a storm. Goddamn, we haven't seen a bus come around in 4 hours. What happened? It's snowing. Oh, yeah, the buses are running. We back to normal. If I don't see our NYPD cop, are you kidding me? That shit ain't no joke. Okay, I'm just showing you. We cannot listen. Your house is going to look better out there, no doubt about it. But just remember where you live. Okay, so this is 700,000. These are apartments. I'm showing you. These are not houses. This one I'm showing you is apartment. 303 East 57th Street in New York, New York. Now this is in Manhattan. The mortgage, the rent, y'all would call it. Listen to this now. Listen to this where I'm going with this, right? $12,000 a month. That's what it costs for the mortgage for this apartment. All right. You do realize mortgages are expensive, but let's just say $12,000 a month, right? They cut the price 55,000. 3 bedroom. It didn't even say in the square. Oh no, my bad. The payments were off. It's 8,000 a month. So I don't know, HOA loans and shit like that. Let's just say 8,000 a month. 3 bedrooms, 3 baths. Number one, a 3 bedroom apartment in New York is worth like $4 grand minimum. Write that down. In New York City, the 3 bedroom, a 3-4 bedroom, if you're a realtor and you niggas is really getting money, minimum $4,000, nigga. The Section 8 will pay you fucking $3,800 a month for that shit. So it's worth that, legit, by the government. This apartment here, now this is how I look at it. If I met a woman and she tell me that she owns a condo on 57th Street, I just hit a jackpot. Okay? You meet a woman that got a house in Atlanta, a mini mansion with a 3-car garage. What the fuck am I gonna do with that? You know what I mean? Let's say I'm a married man and I go down there and I want to go to Atlanta and smash. I mean, she gonna want a boyfriend. The one in Manhattan, goddamn it, I could park my moving truck in front of her building, go up there and smash and dash. And you know her money long. You know, wherever she works, she making a shitload of money. Well, Nate, what if she works at Amazon? She's probably making $20 an hour there. We got the highest minimum wage in the country. Whoever works here is making money. I don't give a fuck what they do. All right. You look at a bus driver in your neighborhood, in your city, is nothing but a bus driver. He is called a bus operator. It's a big difference. Well, yeah, my cousin lives up in Poughkeepsie. That's right. No, not Poughkeepsie, nigga. Okay? Mass Transit Authority has to be the 5 boroughs, nigga. If he lives in fucking Yonkers, he's cooked. He lives in Mount Vernon, he's cooked. He lives in Scarsdale, not the same. It's different. It's prestigious here. Being a police officer is prestigious here. Well, my cousin's a cop in Jersey City. Jersey City is Jersey City. Complete different element. But at least he's right in the backyard of New York. You understand what I'm saying? Ain't nowhere like New York. Move to the South if you love various porks and golden crusted. No place like it, man. I'm trying to tell you. But
But New Yorkers don't stand tall with that. Not the common Negroes. Common Negroes do not. They let y'all South niggas run that shit. Okay? Yes, we cannot compare. Y'all mansions are better. No question. Much cheaper. Much cheaper. Beautiful. Y'all got the land and property. Y'all got the space. We got the status. It's a difference. Anybody could live in a mini mansion in motherfucking Atlanta, nigga. Not anybody could live in a mini mansion in New York and New Jersey. Not anybody. All right? Anybody can have a luxury apartment in Dallas, Texas. Not fucking over here. Because here, the mentality is if you could afford it, you must be somebody. See the difference? Down there, you thinking you would have been big old Rick Ross tycoon. All that goofy shit you see Rick Ross doing, he couldn't afford to do that shit here. Are you fucking kidding me? I just showed y'all apartments that's worth in that nigga's mansion. We didn't even talk about the penthouses. You can't play with these niggas up here. They ain't no joke. Nate, I read an article. Y'all can leave comments. Nate, I read an article last year which was listed where people are the most happy in New York. Yes, if you old, this is for the old, young, everybody. You move down there, you die. That should have put you in an early grave. If you can't come from New York in 2026 and move down south. You can't do that shit 10, 20 years ago. It slows you up. That shit kills you, man. This is for the old everybody. The gays. Why you think all these homos live up here? Oh, they live in Atlanta. Rich homos live in New York. That's bullshit. Okay? Atlanta ain't nothing but a black knockoff of fucking San Francisco. But if you was a gay nigga, you wanted a rich gay nigga, who you gonna get? You gonna get a nigga from San Francisco, not no fucking Atlanta. Atlanta's the country, nigga. You can't compare that shit to California. You can't compare Georgia to California, number one. Don't get it fucked up. I love the South. The South is a beautiful place to visit. It's a beautiful place to be if you were born and raised there. If you love the country life, yes, and you got chickens and farms and shit, yes, that you can't compare that. That's what I'm saying. It's a whole different entity. I love that. Don't get that fucked up. My mother was born there. You know what I mean? But it's two different lives. It's comparing the country and the city is like day and night. You can't compare the two. Nate, I read an article last year that listed the cities that with the happiest people. New York was the only American. I'm telling you, why do you think people move here from all over the world? Look at the tourists' face when they're walking around here. And we call it the concrete jungle. All those celebrities, yeah, the celebrities do move to Jersey because you could get a cheaper house. Yes, the houses are cheaper than New York. It's ridiculous here. However, they still come to New York. That's why we got congested pricing now. They got to charge these Jersey niggas because all Jersey and Connecticut and PA want to do is come to New York. They work out there. They live out there. They want to work here. The money's here. If I got a YouTuber now and I tell you to move here, your money, you're going to be like, God damn it, Nate, I made more money than I ever made in my life. The money's here. Anybody that got a job in New York is doing well, even if they're doing more than you. Okay, so this is $1 million. There's $1 million apartment. This apartment's $1 million, 1,500 square feet. That's a small fucking place. Look at that. But look at the address. 150 East 61st Street. That's it. East side of Manhattan. It's over. The game is all these celebrities you see from New York, they all front, and trust me. Ain't too many niggas that got this type of paper. Long Island is the country. It's the suburbs. That's not even part of New York City. It's Nassau County or Suffolk County. Don't get it fucked up. Long Island is nice. The Hamptons, all that good shit, but it's not a city. It's just a part of New York State. We are the city of New York. Big difference. The city that had that much impact. If you're going to compare New York, you got to, Okay, that was a good example. So he just said Long Island. Long Island is suburban, but it's a section of New York. We are the city of New York, right? So if you want lifestyle, you move to New York City. If you want a slow pace, low key, you like it slow, you like a country kind of environment, you go to Long Island. It's slow as fuck out there and more racist. Name, I'm about to turn my apartment to a New York City luxury loft. Yeah, well, you live in Jersey, you can still make it look like that. That's what the architects are doing now. All the developers are doing that. And that's pretty cool. That's what's happening now in all these countries. Somebody was like, oh, Charlotte. Charlotte, North Carolina, nigga, you might as well. Charlotte, North Carolina is the country. Even in a city, it's still the country because you got to look at it geographically now. You can't get around it. You're down south. That's number one. Okay. If you're gonna move to South Carolina, just move in the country. You're better off. Like, why move to a fake city? That's not a real city. I never heard about New York City being the happiest people. Oh, yes, absolutely. Of course. Where you gonna go for dating? No black woman can move to Atlanta for dating. Why she do that with all them gay ass niggas out there? This is where it's at. Even the miserable people here are happier because when they move out of town, they realize, oh shit, I miss New York. Yeah, we're mean and nasty, off the rip, but we're still that's how New Yorkers just are. Jay Bird said, "What up, Jay? What up, Jay? Can only okay, hold on. Yeah, I'm trying to tell you, it's all about lifestyle. Yo, what's your life? Ask your family member what's your lifestyle. They may tell you shit. I just get up, watch TV all day. You could do that anywhere. But you living in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, and you just watch TV all day. What a fucking waste. Unless you got a sickness, you know what I mean? Maybe you got a handicap. But even a handicap, they got to be outdoors. There's nothing like it. Yeah, that's why I tell you, fashion wise, all that shit. Watch the show Sex in the City. That shit's old. Where was it shot? Here. It wasn't Sex in the City based out of Atlanta. All you see in Atlanta is a whole bunch of wannabes, New Yorkers. And I'm using Atlanta as an example because it's a city. It is. I'm telling you, believe me when I tell you, no matter what you show, whatever I show you here, I'm just giving you a clear example. Everybody moves to the South, but nobody moves up here. And they're probably telling you, because it's too expensive. Right. But if you got a job offer, let's say you lived in Florida, right? And you got offered a job to make $80K a year. And in New York, they charge you, it's gonna be double that. $160,000 a year. Where the fuck you gonna move to? You gonna move up here? Yeah, but it evens out. Nah, that's not true. 160,000 a year in New York, you could still be the man. Don't let the internet fool you. There's ways around that shit. Not everything here is expensive. 160K is some good ass money anywhere. Okay. I'm just telling you, whatever they offer you down wherever you at, it's gonna be double or more, triple here. All right. Every time somebody that I talk to that lives down south and born and raised, they could never understand the figures. If I moved my moving business down south, I would have to charge my customers kibbles and bits. Not here. Oh no, not at all. Not the hell at all. Down there I would, because I'm gonna have to go by the environment. Tons of shit left. I'm just showing you, okay, this is what 680,000 looks here. This is called this house is a semi-attached. So that means the left side is one house and the right side is one house. Just for the left side of this house is $688,000. The crazy part, when this home was built, let me see when it was built. built in 2001. I guarantee this house, when it was built, it was 180 grand, and that was in 2001. Look at the fucking number. You know what this house is gonna be worth next summer? By the summertime, this shit's gonna be worth 740,000. I'm telling you. I've been living here all my life. I live here. I live here for real, for real. Don't listen to all that. All y'all gonna be able to do is go to the damn supermarkets, all you can eat shits. Okay, eat, fuck. That's why there's so much drama. That's why niggas. That's why them southern niggas be fucking each other. There's nothing to do. If you a single man here, now if you single, I wouldn't tell you to move to Staten Island. I would tell you to move in a certain section of Staten Island. But Brooklyn, I'll tell you a certain section there. You got to move in a certain section. If you want a low piece, you want a nice slow paced life, but city life, move to Jersey, Hoboken, Jersey City, Edgewater. You still got the amenities of New York without the hustle and bustle, and a little for a little cheaper. You know what I mean? That's what y'all gonna see now. We just gonna be talking about love, style, and houses. Okay? If you move out of town for a cheap house, you're a goddamn fool. You're gonna pay for that. Either you're gonna be fucked up, or your kids will, because your kids are gonna go down there. They're gonna be bored. They're gonna be fucking a neighbor, getting pregnant all early. You're gonna be a grandfather at 30. I'm telling you. You know, I respect it more if you told me, yo, Nate, I moved. We got a ranch down there. I got a big old ranch, horses. You should come by. That's a vibe. That's different. But you got a mini mansion, so you want to look like you're a rich person. Where do y'all go? Oh, we go to nice little sidewalk restaurants in the country, nigga. Get the fuck out of here, nigga. Like, I'm cool with being on the porch, grandpa's porch, nigga, eating fried oysters. I don't need all that. I'm not gonna go down there for lifestyle, nigga. I'll stay here for all that. You can live really comfortable in 160K in New York. You can live comfortable here with 80K. It all depends on what you do. It's New York. There's a way to get over it. You can live comfortable here, nigga, making nothing. Don't let nobody fool you. If you are, you know what I mean? If you're a bum, if you're a homeless person and, you know, you on the street, you know, now I would go to California because it's warmer. You know, if you're going to live on the street, I wouldn't suggest to do that here because it gets cold in the winter. But this is where affordable housing counts. It don't count. Why the fuck would I get affordable housing in North Carolina? That's pretty pathetic. You know what I mean? It's exactly. It's a different energy here. It's completely different. Yes, Chris, if you're single, forget it. A single woman, don't get it twisted. She's going to be going through it regardless anywhere you go because of the internet. I don't give a fuck where you move to. I ain't going to sit there and tell you that lie. Everybody going to be fucked up out here because of the internet. The internet's going to have everybody fucking crazy. You know what I mean? But, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's just this. You know, shoot the questions. Hold on, let me see what she had for that little thing. You speak to anybody right now, they gonna be like, "Yo, life's good. I'm out here." They're gonna want you to come visit. That's when you know niggas are bored when they begging you to come to their fucking house. He just want to show you how much of a dummy he was, and he want to prove to you, see, this is why I did it. Stay with that nigga for a month and tell me if you ain't gonna be ready to go back home in a week. You kidding me? Trust and believe that. Hold on, she just sent me this article. I hate when they give you different things. Just give me the default browser. Like, you have the city that is because of our citizens what they are. Because see, here it's for the young and the old, you know. But remember, Florida is a retiree state. Yep, I see it. So Golden Cities. Yeah, New York is in there. Brussels, Geneva, Barcelona, Dublin. We always in there. You don't see no fucking Atlanta in there. Never. If you're gay, if you're a gay black man, the best place for a gay black man to, you know, as far as that media world, Atlanta. No question about that. But if you a gay nigga
You black and you want to be in a fashion shit on a different level on some tycoon shit. You got to come to New York. You got to rub elbows with them fucking millionaires because they all over the place out there. Nate, what's the cost of condos in Queens from around Queens Village? Without even looking at Zillow, probably $1 million. They're expensive as shit. 800,000. You know what I mean? They're up there. You know, depending where you're at in Queens Village, you could also be on, what's the name of that street? Shit, Queens Boulevard, closest to Jamaica. You know, 700,000, 800, probably 2-3 million. I've seen I've seen small shit in Brooklyn by Bay Ridge, nigga, 2 million. I'm telling you, and people could afford. I'm moving these people. I'm moving them. This is the thing that you do. If you're gonna move out of town as a New Yorker, never get rid of the shit you own. Our old man told me that. Never get rid of for what you already have. Never get rid of that. So if you're gonna go down to Florida, go down there. Live out there for 5 months and then come back home. That's a fly way to do it. I live in Florida half of the year, the other half I live in New York. But if you want to slow down and you like sitting on a damn rocking chair, then go down there. Queens Village turned into the trenches. I remember the good days out there. Yeah, well, that ain't gonna be for long. I'm telling you, I told you the government's trying to get all them fucking y'all YNs in jail, man. They're trying to kill them niggas. They gotta wash them away. Once the YNs leave, the property goes up. They gotta get the YNs out the United States. Once they get all the fucking bums out here, everybody's property goes up. So do you really want them to leave? Because once they go, it's over. Once the YNs are diminished, forget it. Hempstead, you could get a house, but still gonna be spending like 600. You're still gonna spend like 600,000. Watch, I'll show you. You're still gonna be paying at least 600. Oh, y'all want to see what rent goes for? Hold on. Y'all want to see rent? Y'all want to see what rent goes for this motherfucker? Okay, this is a studio, $4,000 a month. Don't play with me. Okay? This is a studio, 504 2nd Street. $5,000 a month. A studio. Brand new building. You want me to go again? This one bedroom is 3,000, but look at the lobby. Look at the building. That's what I'm trying to tell you, man. Don't believe me. Y'all niggas are doing this shit all wrong, man. Y'all niggas out here want to cheat on your wife with some scram, bitch. Get the fuck out of here, nigga. If I was really going hard, believe me, nigga, I have a joint in every damn borough living in one of these nice spots. They ain't even got to live in a mansion, nigga. They ain't got to live in a penthouse. Just as long most people here are making the money. If they can't afford it, they still able to afford the rent. So something's working. Dyker Heights, oh, forget it. My man lives in Dyker Heights. Dyker Heights, forget it. My man got a $3 million house out there. I ain't gonna put his address up there, but he got a $3 million house out there, motherfucker. He owns 2 dealerships, Brooklyn Nissan, Kings Nissan. I'm telling you, it ain't a game. I moved him in his house. I'm in the business. Yeah, so what I'm saying is, like, if you go to Hempstead, right? Hempstead, you could get you a decent priced house, but you don't. Remember, Hempstead, Nassau County is the outskirts of New York City. So your mayor's different, your laws is different, everything is different over there. You're part of New York State. We're part of New York State too, but you guys are the suburban part of New York State. So obviously the houses are going to be cheaper in Hempstead than it would be in Queens. You know what I mean? Because Queens, New York is part of the city. So you get to New Jersey. New Jersey's lit. You know what I mean? But again, a lot of New Yorkers do that too. They move out there for the cheap house and they still want to be here to go to the clubs, the restaurants, the dining, the shopping. Everything's here. I seen Ice-T and Coco. They be in New York all the goddamn time. Yeah, they live in Jersey. Go to Zillow. Just look up yourself. I ain't got to show you. I don't think I'm lying. Okay, hold on. If you go to Zillow and check this out, if you look at
for sale, right? Look at sold. Let's look at what they sold. I like looking at that. Let's look at what they sold for $20 million or better. I like to look at that. Look at that. Look at you know, who the fuck bought this? Look at that land. 40 million, nigga. 40 million. They didn't even build on it yet. The land is worth 40 million. 63,000 square feet. Sold 1/2/26. It just sold the other day. They just bought this shit 2 days ago. Or yesterday. God. All right, hold on. I can't make this shit up. Okay, look at this, right? Sold for $24 million December 30th, 2025. It's a 5-bedroom penthouse. Who the fuck bought this? See what I mean? Sold. All this shit sold. Look at it. All sold. 22 million, 21 million, 21 million. Doesn't this 50 million, 40 million? Look, this is an apartment on Greenwich Street. Who the fuck bought this? Y'all niggas are fucking the wrong people, yo. Loaded with millionaires. Loaded. $40 million sold just days ago. This shit was sold. All this shit was sold in December. What are y'all doing? Look at what was sold. 38 million. 9-bedroom. Okay, that was a building sold. Okay. But that's why when somebody tell you he's in the real estate, ask him where. Okay, just ask him where. Because he could be a millionaire being a fucking damn realtor even here in New York. He could rent apartments and be a millionaire. New Jersey's a good option if you have pockets. Depends in New Jersey what you're talking about. It depends in New York. New Jersey ain't stupid. It all depends. You tell me Willingboro, yeah, that's the country. You wait down there, exit 5 on a turnpike. That's far as fuck. But if you tell me Edgewater, New Jersey, now we talking lifestyle. I gotta have lifestyle. I gotta have lifestyle and I gotta have accessibility. I gotta have access to the city. I gotta be 20 minutes away from the city. It's not that Jersey's just a good idea. You gotta say the section. You gotta say the county, brother. You know what I'm saying, Q Hectic? You gotta say the county. See, the problem is when we say New York, we say it as a state, New York City, and then y'all compare a whole state to the city. No, Jersey's not a good option. It depends on the area that's a good option. You gotta say that right. When your money's long, nigga, you the closer to New York you can live. But your money ain't crazy. You gotta go east. You gotta go south. You understand what I'm saying? What's the best county in New Jersey, Nate? For what? It depends. For the regular modern person or, you know, exclusivity. You know, give me a tax bracket. What's the best? You want to you want to give me more, you know, I want you to ask these questions so the people would know. I could tell you an exclusive county, not all of it, but lifestyle. You want Hudson County, but then you want to make sure you live like in, you know, Edgewater, Hoboken. You know what I'm saying? Per certain parts of Jersey City is part of that. Union. You know what I'm saying? But you want some exclusivity and you got you like your Nate. You know, I'm trying to get a house for like 3 million. All right, so Bergen County. You want to fuck with Bergen. You know what I mean? Not to say a dusty nigga can't live in Bergen County too, but it depends on the tax bracket of the house and the rent you could afford. You could tell a lot about a person what they could afford to rent. Nigga tell you he could afford 1,500 a month. Don't mean he broke, but he may be a millionaire that don't like to pay shit. But if a nigga tell you shit 10,000 a month, again, he could be a front nigga too. But it's hard to front with 10,000 a month. You said 45 minutes away. Yeah, you could move anywhere then. You good. 45 minutes away, you get you something cheap. 45 minutes away from the tunnel, that's far. There's a whole bunch of shit. You know what I mean? Union County, you got parts of no, not particularly Essex County, you got Ocean County. All that shit is cheap. Cheaper, cheaper, cheaper. But if you go further out, it's even cheaper than that. Look up Willingboro. Willingboro is a nice area for black people. Willingboro. That's not the county, it's the section. I don't know the name of the county down there. But that's what I'm saying. When you talk to real Jersey people, they go by counties. They don't talk sections. But New Yorkers, they talk of a section. Oh, you should move to so and so. Yeah, we normally do that, but the counties. With Madami in office, do you think values will go down in New York City, or that's just political? Nah, it'll never go down. It'll never. He had to do that just to get in office. There's no way. No way. Listen, it's like this, right? It's like me being a single man and telling a woman, shit, you don't want to get played anymore. You want a man that love you? Choose me. See what I'm saying? That's all it is. He can't do shit about that. He gonna have all them. The thing is, right now he got all the motherfucking developers in the palm of his hand. He gonna make sure all them Arab niggas is good though. He ain't gonna be able to stop that. There's too much money involved. Like when a nigga that rich, listen, if he makes a problem for the we don't call them builders, we call them developers. Big difference. You know what I'm saying? It's a building when you live in a country, but a developer, a whole different level. Once you start talking about high-rise buildings, that's a whole different level of investment. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Man, damn, I don't know. I don't know what he's gonna do. I never seen a mayor that could really do shit, you know. But remember, he does have the builders, he does have the developers in his fucking. He got him on smash now. You know what I mean? Just be careful, man. If some of y'all moving out of town, oh, I got a boyfriend out there. Be careful. If you're gonna move in with a nigga to a different state, try to move somewhere where there's life. Don't move there when you're in a country, because if y'all shit goes left, you're fucked. Now you're caught out there in the fucking damn sticks. But if you move with a nigga, he live in New York and Brooklyn, you're good. God forbid he fuck up, that's okay. You'll be fine. You go get your small little spot for a little minute, chill out, get a good job, stack your bread. You're gonna be something crazy. I'm telling you, everything is here, man. I'm not saying that there's nothing available there. I'm saying all the things that you have down there is great for the people that were born and raised there by far. It doesn't cater to us. It's not a cater to us leaving the north to go to the south. You're supposed to go to the south and go to the north. You don't go backwards, respectfully. You know what I mean? That's just that. Like, especially when you got status. And even when you got status, you got to move to a town, and you don't want to move to an area where you got the biggest mansion in the whole. You know what I mean? You don't want that. You want to be able to mix in. When you rich like that, you want to be able to have a whole bunch of rich friends. So if you was rich and you lived in England, you want to move to New York. You want to move where all the other niggas is at. But the problem is here, everybody runs, and then they go down there, and then they jump on the South shit. Now y'all niggas got to have a big old. They do that shit in Atlanta all the time, where all the Brooklyn people moved out there because they got out their jobs. They were teachers, they were firemen, cops, and they went out there with their pension. And now it's like, yeah, I got me. I took my money where it goes further. Like, where's it gonna go further? Or a cheap house? That's it. The food is expensive as shit. The gas is the same fucking price as it is here. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. So for all that for a cheap house, come on now, like, it ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. You know what I mean? Like, it all depends on what you could afford. You may say, Nate, I could afford an apartment for $800 a month. I may say, well, just go to East Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? There's a 2-fare zone. Unless you got a car, just get you a little bullshit 1-bedroom rental from somebody over there. It may be a little further than most places because it's not near the trains, but so what? Or you may live in a hood. Depends on the block. You may tell me, how about this hood? I'm like, all right, around the corner I wouldn't fuck with, but this block is good.
That's enough to get you on your feet. And then you say, well, shit, you know what? My money's up. I want to move to motherfucking Jersey City and Newport Center in one of them tall buildings. Okay, now you got lifestyle. That's fine. You're still close to the city. You one train stop away. You know what I mean? Oh, you said start like in Spring Creek. That's kind of like affordable housing type of like, beautiful community. You know, it's East New York, but it's not as dangerous. Pretty nice, high rises, nice community, beautiful people out there. Yeah, I like that. Most times people run out of New York because somebody trying to murk them. Well, that's different. Somebody trying to murk you, then you move the fuck out of here, and then you don't get no Instagram. And yeah, that's different. I can understand that. That's all worth it that's your life now. You know what I'm saying? Like, remember the title says trading your element, health, and happiness, but nigga trying to kill you, nigga. Well, shit. Well, that's enough to get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? That's a good enough reason. It's Q Hector says, it's not that they want to leave New York City, but they have to. Right. That's different. That's totally understandable. But if you just leaving because you want society to embrace you because I got a house now, that's corny. That's so fucking stupid. Like, you running away from the money. Like, make the money, man. That's the name of the game. Like, fuck the cheap house, nigga. Like, I don't want a cheap house, nigga. I want to be able to afford an expensive house because my money's long. Nobody got no time wanting no cheap fucking house. You know what I mean? If I'm gonna have a cheap house, nigga, just give me some assisted living or assisted rent or something. You know what I mean? Sign me up for a program, nigga. I'm that broke. Can I make it? Well, I make too much, Nate. Well, maybe you need not to make that. Leave the job. Fuck it. Work off the books. Fuck that. It ain't worth it, man. As long as you got a decent place to live and rest your head, nigga, I gotta be where everything is at. You know what I'm saying? Make the money, nigga. Fuck the house. You know what I mean? How y'all need to look at the goal. How the fuck can I make $20 million a year? And I bet you be singing a different tune. You ain't gonna want that little bullshit $1 million fucking house in Atlanta at that point. You gonna be like, Nate, after watching your shit, goddamn, I found some shit for $15 million. Cause you could afford it. Don't let the numbers scare you, nigga. Fuck all that cheap out. That's for failures. When people that don't accomplish shit in their life, they do it. That's why they go buy houses. Because in the country world outside of New York, apartments is a failure. So y'all stand behind that house because y'all didn't accomplish shit. You never did nothing with your dreams, but you bought a dream house. So it makes the people sound good. It's the same way here. Bum ass nigga that come out of New York. Yeah, I went to Florida, copped a new house. Okay. My man got a house out there in Tampa, no woman in there. What does it mean? That don't mean shit. You rather had a 1-bedroom fucking apartment over here, nigga, and goddamn, you got your 1-bedroom fucking apartment over here in motherfucking Williamsburg, Brooklyn, living in a luxury building. Now you got lifestyle, nigga. You got the gym and downstairs. You chilling. Bad bitches walking in and out there, single as fuck. You know what I mean? This one upstairs making $200,000 a year. This one's making $500,000. Come on, man. It's a whole different level, nigga. How you gonna know the worth of your dick when you do everything at a low level? Like, make the money, nigga. Work on making the money. Fuck the house, nigga. I could get that later. Get the money. Even you clown niggas that go play lotto, at least I respect it. At least you're trying to get the bread. Don't chase the dream, nigga. You chase you know what I mean? You chase the dream when you put in this word to chase the dream, but not the dream house. You don't chase the dream house, nigga. You get the money. By the time you get the money, you ain't gonna even want that dream house. You gonna be like, shit, fuck that dream house. I ain't know I was gonna make all this money. Tampa got them freaky spots. Yeah, of course. Tampa's good for a man that's a nasty freak. You want to fuck around with your wife and fuck whores and prostitutes and housewives? Perfect down there. But that's why all the whores is down there, because they got nothing to do. See, the whores up here going to the freak parties, they be doctors, lawyers. They be around all these goddamn that professionalism on Zoom calls all day. Bitch want a nut in her face. Down there, they just in a house, bored as fuck. The nigga moved in out of that cheap house. She got nothing to
do. The kids are old now. She like, fuck it, I want some action. What about the dual residency crib in North and crib in the North? You talking about dual residency or crib in the North? Yeah, hold on. Tell me what you're saying again. I think you. What about dual residency? A crib in the North and a crib in the North? Oh, I never heard of that. But there's no limit to residency. You can have as many residences as you want. There's no law to that. You could own 20 fucking houses. You could have 20 apartments. There's some people out here that got 5 different residences around the world. That's status. That's lifestyle. Yeah, chase the dream, not the dream house. Nah, don't fuck with that. Fuck the dream house. Get that money, man. All right, you'll see. People deal with you different when that way. You go look at a $20 million goddamn house. Most niggas can't look at that unless they know your status. You can't just be no ordinary nigga to even look at that shit. They're gonna be like, who are you? Excuse me, sir. I own, me and my wife own. Oh my God, welcome right in. They know that you own a fucking $1 billion company, $1 million company. No problem. We'll show you the place. You can't be no ordinary nigga going to waste none of them realtors' times. But you could go down to Atlanta and fucking damn Texas and waste their time and look at some shit all day. Having a house in New York City and a house in Florida. Yeah, that's no law. You could do that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's dope. A lot of foreigners do that. There's people that live in the Dominican Republic, not that black shithole. We talk about people that was born in the Dominican Republic. They go there for 6 months and they make the money here for 6 months out of the year. That's dope. My wife's uncle, he goes from Barbados half of the year, and then he spends the other half in England because he lives in England. Nate, what's your thoughts on Boston? Boston's cool. It's country though. It's the country. It's a suburban country. Even Boston being, it's like a city. It's a country. Boston is a city in Massachusetts, but it's country. Some cities are country. Some cities are country, some cities are cities. You start dealing with Chicago, New York City, LA. Those are cities. You understand what I'm saying? Being a snowbird and they living in the north during the summer and south in the winter. Yeah, that's dope. But you can do that. How you feel about Staten Island? Staten Island is cool because you have a country / suburban feel. You know what I mean? We are all part of the city. It's kind of like a little backyard. Like when we cross the bridge, it's more low key. But as soon as we cross that bridge into Brooklyn, in 2 miles, boom, it's all over. It's amazing. So I like the low key of Staten Island. See, one thing about me, I'm real big on landscapes. You know what I mean? I love New York City in spring and summer. It's amazing. Staten Island is cool. Can I deal? Yeah. I mean, listen, it ain't Brooklyn, it ain't Queens, but if you want to compare Staten Island to anything, it's probably gonna be Queens. But you can't compare Staten Island to the Bronx. Those are cities. Like anytime you got a mass mode of tall buildings, residentially and business, it's a city. You know what I mean? That's a real city. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you answer a lot of that. If y'all know anybody that moved from New York and they're in Atlanta, don't talk to them. Don't even fucking waste your time. You want to talk to a nigga about Atlanta, talk to the person that was born and raised that lives out there. They can school you better. Don't listen to that shitty New Yorker that talk about, I moved out here like 8 years because the houses was expensive. He has nothing to talk about. He has nothing to offer. She has nothing to offer. They sold their fucking city. And ask them what they did with their house. Some of these dumb fucks probably sold their house. Let me tell you a story real quick before I leave. There was this black brother. And the Jews wait for that dumb nigga. They know they gonna do it. And I was moving this guy out the house. He's telling me he had the house. His father gave it to him. Like, all right. Yeah, man, I'm moving to Florida. I said, don't tell me you sold the house. Because I know who bought it. Only person going to buy it is going to be a Jew. Where he was in Brooklyn, I knew he lived in Eastern Parkway. He said, yeah,
I know, brother, but I'm getting so much more for my money. My man, you sold out. He knew I knew the deal. You gonna go get you a little $200,000 little condominium in Florida, nigga, you fucking dummy. And you gonna let that white man take your fucking house. He probably offered your dumbass 800,000. It's worth 1.5, and that was then. It's just probably worth 3 million now. And he down there in Florida, probably in a casket already. You know what I mean? It's a scam, man. Down south is for the South. It's for the South. You know what I mean? I don't care what goes on in New York. Yeah, they can move anywhere. That's true, but they ain't gonna be happy. You know, what I mean? Once them niggas start walking around in flip flops, eating them fucking steaks every goddamn day, know he got to take that colonoscopy, he gonna know, goddamn it, if I stayed in New York, I would have been active. When you see these Asians come here and they be 80, 100 years old, they still walk in the city. They don't want to go down there. What, they gonna walk on the side of the fucking road and deal with some goddamn racist redneck cop? Remember, these cops out here, they protect gays and all that shit. They protect them niggas. They protect the gays, the old people, everybody. You know what I mean? They don't play that shit here. We got bias squads, all that. You got to know about your laws that cover you. I mean, don't get it fucked up. It's dangerous here, certain areas, but like anywhere else, it's dangerous. Y'all niggas be killing their girlfriends like crazy in these small towns. All of these states, black man, he be killing them fucking damn girlfriends and them husbands. I mean, them wives. You know it. They got nothing to do. What do they do out of town? Go to restaurants, eat. There's no lifestyle. There's nothing to do. And when they do go to a club, they don't know how to act. They're gonna blow the whole shit up. Ain't nothing to do. That's why people move down here. Slower pace. Some people, it's good. Like they don't want to have nothing to do. Shit, I don't want to have nothing to do. Nate, okay, that's different. But he's in this house. He's amazed. Oh my God, look at my hallway. He wants all people in New York to go visit them so they can stunt. Y'all should move down here. No, nigga. I had a cousin that moved from the projects out there. I don't want to go out there and visit for what? All they're gonna do is try to sell me a fucking house. I, I don't need that. I don't need y'all to be. I don't need to go down there and be reminded of how dirty New York is. I love my dirty city. So what? I'm happy here. And then they don't tell you they miss it. Now they gotta go. They gotta go to the car to get a sandwich. They gotta travel fucking 40 miles. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, it's just not. A woman come here and visit me in New York is gonna be a lot more fun if I go visit her. Believe me. You know, unless she lives in California, she's able to take me around some night. Who knows? It depends what her lifestyle is. You understand? But in most cases, we're talking about on average, what are they going to show me? Her beautiful house. You know, again, that's all they got is a bit. Listen, my uncle builds houses in South Carolina. That's what he does for a living. You understand what I'm saying? We get it. But you got to understand, everywhere is nice for who it is for. You just got to know what you're doing it for. But if you're going out there for a cheap house, you're never going to be true happy with that. You never. I disagree. I'm happier, healthier, happy. Yeah. Don't listen to. Don't pay him no fucking mind. Pay attention to the 80-year-old man that lives and born and raised out there. That's what you want to talk. Don't talk to that shithole, because he went out there for the wrong reason. Don't talk to the shithole that moved for a cheap house. He's got nothing to say. He's never going to tell you the truth. Even when he's depressed, he'll never tell you. If his health is fucked up, he will never tell you that anyway. He won't tell you that. So it's a waste of time to listen to him. You know, when you move to these areas, you want to talk to the old man in the store. Say, "How you doing, sir? I'm thinking about moving out here. How long? Well, how long you like? I was born out here my life. Oh yeah, let me talk to you. You look at the fellow New Yorker. Yo, what's up, big bro? Yo, I'm thinking about I just moved out here 2 years. Yo, take my number, bro. No question. We don't talk to him. We ain't got nothing to talk about, nigga. Get the fuck out of here. That fucking criminal gonna talk about is, yeah, fuck, I had to get out of there, son, you know. And then when there's some New York shit going on, he want to talk about, yo, what's going on up there? Get the nigga, you don't live here no more.
You don't live it on you. You can't talk about nothing that's going on with the mega nothing. We can't have no discussion. Now you want to talk about, yeah, because you know we did that hip hop thing, because you know how I do, nigga. I put my hat on. Where you live? I'm in Florida now. Nigga, you're a Florida resident, bro. You don't count. That's it. It's over. It's done. You can come in with your little funky hat to the side, nigga, and a pair of Pro Kids and Adidas sweatshirt. It ain't gonna matter, fool. You a country boy. You just gotta accept that. Now go get your ass some Crocs, nigga. Go get something to eat. Ladies and gentlemen, I love you all. Y'all have a great day. Class is dismissed. God damn.